हरे कृष्ण। जय राधा माधवा, जय कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभा, गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधवा, जय कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभा। जय राधा माधवा, जय कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभा, गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधवा, जय कुंज बिहारी, गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना, यमुनातीरवनचारी, जय कुंज बिहारी। यशोदनन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना, यमुनातीरवनचारी, जय कुंज बिहारी। यशोदनन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना, यमुनातीरवनचारी, जय कुंज बिहारी। यशोदनन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना, तीरवनचारी, जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधवा, जय कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभा, गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधवा, जय कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभा, गिरिवरधारी। युगधर्म श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतेरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, Talks between Narada and King Prachinabarhi. Text number 5. Buddhim tu pramadam vidyan mamaham iti yatkritam yamadisthaya dehesmin puman bhunkte akshabhirgunan. Buddhim tu pramadam vidyan mamaham iti yatkritam yamadisthaya dehesmin puman bhunkte akshabhirgunan. Buddhim tu pramadam vidyan mamaham iti yatkritam yamadisthaya dehesmin puman bhunkte akshabhirgunan. Dehesmin yamadisthaya. Adhisthaya dehesmin puman. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Buddhim, intelligence. Tu, then. Pramadam, the young woman. Puranjani, Vidyat, one should know. Mama, my. Aham, I. Iti, thus. Yat kritam, done by intelligence. Yam, which intelligence? Adhisthaya, taking shelter of. Dehe, in the body. Asmin, this. Puman, the living entity. Bhunkte, suffers and enjoys. Akshabi, by the senses. Gunan, the modes of material nature. Translation. The great sage Narada continued. The word pramada mentioned in this regard refers to material intelligence or ignorance. It is to be understood as such. When one takes shelter of this kind of intelligence, he identifies himself with a material body. Influenced by the material consciousness of I and mine, he begins to enjoy and suffer through his senses. Thus, the living entity is entrapped. Purport. In material existence, so called intelligence is actually ignorance. When intelligence is cleared up, it is called Buddhi Yoga. In other words, when intelligence is dovetailed with the desires of Krishna, it is called Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 10.10, Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam ena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Real intelligence means linking with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When this is done, the Supreme Personality of Godhead from within gives one the real intelligence by which one can return home back to Godhead. Intelligence in the material world is described in this verse as pramada, because in material existence, the living entity falsely claims things to be his. He thinks, I am the monarch of all I survey. This is ignorance. Actually, nothing belongs to him. Even the body and the senses do not belong to him, for they are given to him by the grace of the Lord to satisfy his different propensities through the material energy. Nothing actually belongs to the living entity, but he becomes mad after everything, claiming, This is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Janasya mohoyam aham mameti. This is called illusion. Nothing belongs to the living entity, but he claims that everything belongs to him. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends that this false intelligence be purified. Cheto darpana marjanam. When the mirror of intelligence is polished, the real activities of the living entity begin. This means that when a person comes to the platform of Krishna consciousness, his real intelligence acts. At that time, he knows that everything belongs to Krishna and nothing belongs to him. As soon as one thinks that everything belongs to him, he is in material consciousness. And when he knows perfectly that everything belongs to Krishna, he is in Krishna consciousness. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parichana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatare Shatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurasve Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karote vachalam. Pangurnangayate girim mitkripaha tamaham vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam. So before I start, I sing the blessings of His Grace Anandmaya Prabhu and all the assembled Vaishnavas, so that I can, as Prabhupada here mentions, uh, what is material consciousness and spiritual consciousness. So I am quite a bit in material consciousness, so I hope and pray that discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, I develop more spiritual consciousness and get purified. So here we see in the several previous chapters how Narada Muni, out of his great compassion, he's telling King Prachinabari the allegorical story of Puranjan. He has told all that, and then after such a long discussion, uh, so he asked him whether he could understand. So and Prachinabari, he told that actually it's not clear for me. So again now here Narada Muni is explaining each of those characters what it means. Hmm. It's like sometimes we hear like after somebody hears entire Ramayana, they're asking that what is the connection between Ram and Sita, something like that. So we see that actually the Lord and His devotees, they have so much patience. Uh, they don't, in the sense, get frustrated in teaching this knowledge. Even in Bhagavad Gita, we see at the end of all his 18 chapters, like Krishna is telling the benefits of hearing and all. And in the 72nd verse, he is saying, Kachid echat srutam partha, tvayakakrena chetasa, kachid agnana sammoha, paranatasta te dhananjaya. He is saying, O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled? So Arjuna, means Krishna, after all this description of the entire Bhagavad Gita, uh, so many shlokas he spoke. So he's again asking Arjuna with great compassion that could you hear all this attentively? Has your ignorance gone now, illusion gone? So why is he asking? Because in case if Arjuna tells that no, actually I could not understand. So again, Krishna is so compassionate that he is ready to explain also again if required. So that is the compassion and patience of the Supreme Lord. Hmm. So Arjuna tells, Nasto moha smriti labdha, that sloka is there. Tat prasadan mayachat stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Actually, spiritual knowledge is supposed to destroy all our illusion. So Arjuna is telling, now my illusion is gone. I regained my memory by your mercy. I am free from all doubt and I am prepared to act. Karishye vachanam tava. So the purpose of spiritual knowledge ultimately is Karishye vachanam tava. You please tell what should I do. So Arjuna was fully prepared to act as per Krishna's order. So Arjuna could hear attentively and also his illusion was gone. So the purpose is solved. But here we see Narada, after explaining all this, he is explaining indirectly also through this allegorical story, because directly he may not take it. So indirectly he is telling, and after that he could not understand. So Narada Muni is again explaining each and everything. So just like sometimes in school also we see the teachers when they are teaching the students alphabets or anything like that. So lot of patience is required, right? Because children generally are in ignorance and they are naughty, they are not willing to listen, playing around. But the teacher with great patience teaches the students, this is a, this is b, you should write like this, right? So lot of patience is required. Hmm. Generally even in raising children, generally a lot of patience is required. Right? Because children are very naughty and they keep running around, too active. So that's a very important aspect. uh, Utsaha Nishayat Dhairyat. Hmm? In Nectar of Instruction also it is mentioned that we need enthusiasm, we need faith, and we also need patience. Why we need patience? Because we are all patients in this material world. Yeah, because in material world everybody is a patient only, right? Because everybody is deceased, right? Uh, so like in hospital we see that somebody has heart disease, somebody has no, disease related to whatever, um, brain or like that, different different. So similar way in material world also we see that uh, all the conditions, different conditions will solve different problems, right? So just like the doctor also very patiently deals with all this different patients. So same way when we also come in contact with various kinds of conditioned souls, we also have to deal very patiently. Okay. And Krishna, we can see how much patience he has. The living entity, he left the spiritual world. Okay. He wants to enjoy on his own, independent of Krishna. So Krishna is coming in the form of super soul. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto. Right? So he is there with each and every soul, right? Just beside the soul. He is the most intimate to the soul. Prahlad Maharaj says. Uh, but the living entity is so much in ignorance, is so much absorbed in his fruitive activity that he never pays any attention to this Supreme Lord who is just beside him. So, because he is not paying attention to the Supreme Lord, that's why he is in tension, right? Because if you don't apply attention to the Supreme Lord, then obviously lust, greed, all this will attack. So then obviously tension will increase, right? So we need to uh, understand that how the Lord is so much patient with the living entities. So he is passing through so many species of life, right? Various 8.4 million species of life, different different species, and he is very patiently waiting that when this living entity will turn his face towards me, when this living entity will show interest in me, in serving me, right? So, and it's not that Lord is complaining or, no, it's not that Lord is what do you call, angry. He's just patiently waiting, and in all those species of life, he's just providing whatever the living entity needs as per his karma and desires, right? So, and the moment the living entity shows little interest for Krishna consciousness, even little bit spark of that desire to serve him, so that little spark of service attitude, Krishna starts providing various facilities to fan that spark. He sends his devotees, he arranges scriptures, he arranges prasadam, he arranges so many facilities, right? He himself appears in the forms of deities, right? In so many ways he tries to arrange various facilities for this living entity to go back home, back to god, to actually serve him. Uh, and in that also the living entity sometimes accepts, sometimes is not so eager. Still the lord is patiently waiting. Hmm. So from lord and his pure devotees we can learn how much patience they have. We see Vidura also, so many times he keeps on instructing his elder brother Dhritarashtra, right? Right from Pandava's childhood, whenever he is going astray, he is always instructing his elder brother Dhritarashtra. And so many years went by, uh, and no change, right? But still he is patiently instructing him. And ultimately, at the end, we see that all sons of Dhritarashtra got killed, right? Still, we see that Dhritarashtra was attached. So, still, only for the sake of delivering this Dhritarashtra, his elder brother, we see Vidura again comes back and again keeps instructing him with so much patience, right? So, this is a very important thing required in our preaching of Krishna consciousness. So here also here Prabhupada is very nicely explaining what is pramada. Pramada. Prabhupada is telling this is material intelligence or ignorance. So he's saying that material intelligence is equal to ignorance. What happened? So because generally we give so much importance to material intelligence, right? Prabhupada is saying material intelligence is equal to ignorance. People will be shocked, huh? That is ignorance. Yeah, Prabhupada is telling that is ignorance. Why? Because you are just getting more and more bound in this material existence. Because intelligence means it should help us to come out of bondage. It should help us to come out of all problems in life, right? It should solve the problems. But material intelligence, with the material intelligence, people are getting more and more bound in this material existence. They are suffering more and more. So that's why it is called ignorance. Uh, because it's not solving their problem. They are thinking that they are intelligent, right? So we see that this in this material world, so much importance is given to this material intelligence. So many colleges, universities, schools are opened to make the children so called intelligent. Right? So Prabhupada went to one college. So there he saw around, like there is a big building, and he saw that around that there is a net. So Prabhupada asked why this net is there. So they said that some students are falling off and committing suicide. So Prabhupada said, what is the use? They are building such big colleges, universities, but see the result of this education, right? So we see also, even now also, it's not that only during Prabhupada times it is there. Even now also we see that in big colleges, IITs and all, every year so many students are committing suicide. Some are known, some are unknown. Huh? Right? And professors and principals of IIT are meeting and discussing that how can we stop this? What can we do to solve this problem? They are not understanding. They are trying all material means and ways. No, maybe if you do some what you call symposium or this uh, different things, maybe they will come out of that problem. But the solution is actually Krishna consciousness. Because yeah, you may satisfy the body and mind, still living entity is not satisfied. Huh? until you satisfy the soul, living entity will never be satisfied. Huh? That's why they are committing suicide. Hmm. Because they are frustrated. So generally, we also see, we discuss about this IQ, EQ, and SQ, right? So generally, in this world, IQ is given lot of importance. Somebody is having lot of intelligence quotient, means he is considered very intelligent. He is able to solve many mathematical problems or whatever very fastly, quickly. So, but then even it is said that even people having lot of IQ, uh, when some difficult problems or situations came in their life, they are not able to cope with it. They are not able to cope with the emotions, problems, difficulties which came in their life. So that's why they said that people who are having better EQ, emotional quotient, who are able to deal with their emotions, they are even better than people having IQ. huh? So because they are able to deal with the difficulties or success which comes in their life properly. Huh? But more than IQ and EQ, what is important is SQ. Because life is not just about dealing with emotions, but more than that, to understand who we are, what we are supposed to do, and how we can be fully satisfied on all levels, not just body and mind. Hmm. So when somebody starts serving Krishna, he will completely satisfied on all the levels, body, mind, and soul. Then he will be happy forever. So here, uh, here we see that the material society is lacking this solution. So that's why there is problem. So Prabhupada is mentioning in material existence, this intelligence is actually ignorance. Hmm. Because they are dovetailing their intelligence in their own sense gratification. But the devotees of the Lord, they dovetail their intelligence in fulfilling the desires of Krishna. So Prabhupada is telling that is Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Tesham satati yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam enamam upayantite. So Prabhupada is telling that when you engage your intelligence in Krishna service, that is intelligence. So we see like Hiranyakashipu. So with his material intelligence, we know that after his tapasya, he asked benediction from Lord Brahma, right? So he asked the benediction, make me immortal. So Brahma said, Arey, myself I am not immortal. How can you give? How can I give that? So then we know that how he used his intelligence and he asked a benediction, right? I should not be killed by human being or other species. Like that, he gave so many. We know that neither in the sky nor on the earth. No, all that conditions he put. So he thought that materially, with his intelligence, he cheated Lord Brahma. He thought this with all these conditions, I will never be killed. I will never be destroyed. So, and we know that how he became very proud. He thought that now nobody can defeat me. I am invincible. Huh? So, as Prabhupada is mentioning, so the living entity has this false proprietorship mentality, hmm? Hiranyakashipu mentality. So, what is Hiranyakashipu mentality? Hiranyakashipu mentality is to think that I am the proprietor of all I survey. I am the controller of everything and I am the enjoyer. So, this is the material consciousness. So, this Radhesham was telling that sometimes you see a small uh, pan shop wala, small dabba made with tin, irons. So, in that also he writes. proprietor so and so, like a small shop. So living entity has such this mentality is so deep. Uh, so generally, uh, this proprietorship, controllership mentality is so deep. So living entity, that's why he left Krishna. So at least he wants to control, like Hiranyakashipu, various planets. So if not various planets, at least one planet. If not one planet, at least few countries. Like we see Hitler, Napoleon, all this, Alexander, they want to control at least few countries. If not few countries, at least one country. If not countries, at least few states. If not, divide the states. Divide the state and control. Right? If not countries, at least few districts, MLC. Huh? They're controlling districts. If not few districts, at least one district. If not districts, at least few mandals. Mandaladpati. uh, if not mandals, at least few villages. uh, Sarpanch. No? If not villages, at least few wards. Ward, they have no that ward member, whatever. If not ward, at least my house. Right? I want to be controller enjoyer of my house. Okay, at least in my house, if I can't control my family, at least dog. Okay, my family members are also not listening. So at least let me control dog. At least dog is no very obediently it is listening to me. So strong is the controllership mentality, right? Ah Brahma Bhavana Loka. No, we say no. Purana Avartana also. Means same way the living entity wants to control, no, right from Brahma Loka to at least his family members or at least the dog. So he feels satisfied. Okay, now at least this dog is controlled by me. He feels happy. Okay, okay. At least this dog is listening to me. I feel very happy. So strong is the controllership mentality. Huh? So Hiranyakashipu, we can see that how much he was trying to control, be proprietor. Huh? It is mentioned that just by raising his eyebrows, all the demigods were shaking in fear. Huh? He was so powerful. Now see how Lord arranges. Huh? For such a powerful person who is controlling so many demigods, who could change everything as per his liking, seasons he was able to change, right? So many things he was able to change. And people were chanting Hiranyakashpaya Namaha, right? So, like that, he was able to change so many things, completely control. Now, for such a personality, his own family, in his own family, a small child, 5-year-old child, is not listening. So it is like completely frustrating, huh? Because somebody is controlling so many planets, so many big demigods, big personalities. Everybody is shaking in fear. But his own child, small child, this much. Maybe if he just blows, hardly he may fly also. Very small, tiny, Prahlad. So such a person is not listening. So when we see also Prahlad, when he asks him what you learned, Prahlad also doesn't start with OTP, means one-time program, some basic things. He directly starts chastising only. You go to Vrindavan, you are a Grahamedi, should take shelter of Lord. Directly. He is not even like starting with some, no, okay, I'll start with some basic things and slowly go higher. No, directly chastising him, left, right, center. So completely Hiranyakashipu is bewildered. And then he tries to change him, but then he sees finally, even after so much trying to control him, he is not changing. So then he is completely frustrated. Then he says his soldiers, now you start killing him in all the possible ways because he's completely frustrated. And we know how Prahlad, even in all those situations, he was just remembering Lord. And Lord protected him. Prahlad was just dependent on Lord. right? So I was thinking that how much Prahlad, in the sense, what kind of fearlessness, how much faith he should be having. One side there is Hiranyakashipu, means the entire force of the entire universe is against this small boy, Prahlad. Just small boy, means tender. What is the hope? Like the entire universe, the full force is against this, and they are trying to kill him in all the possible ways. So I was thinking, like Arjuna's case, in case of Arjuna, at least he himself was powerful, right? He was he is the most powerful archer trained by Dronacharya. He had so many powerful weapons, Brahmastra, Pashupati Astra, and so many astras given by Indra and all the demigods, very powerful. And he had also Bhima and other Pandavas and many other powerful Kshatriyas. He had 7 Sena. He had Krishna himself in the chariot, right? So to fight with this our Kauravas, yeah, okay, they had more Sena and all, but still they had some amount of no, 7 Sena and many other powerful warriors. So in that sense, there is some hope. Thinking in the sense, okay, we also have. But what is the hope for Prahlad? He didn't have one soldier also. In the sense, it's not that, okay, Prahlad is saying, see, no, I have this, I have this, no, powerful yodhas, no, don't kill me or nothing like that. Prahlad didn't have anybody, nor did he have physically. It's not that no, Lord Narasimha is standing behind. No, hey, don't touch my child. No, it's not like that also, right? So, in the sense, but still we see that how Prahlad, completely fearless, right? So, how much faith he should be having, right? He is completely dependent on the Lord, right? Mare Krishna Rakege, Rake Krishna Mareke. So, we see that if Krishna wants to kill someone, no one can protect him. And if Krishna wants to protect someone, no one can kill him. So that is applied to Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad only. Because Hiranyakashipu tried to protect himself all the possible ways, but still he got killed. And Prahlad, all the possible ways they tried to kill him. Still he was saved. Such a contrast, right? So, because he was pure devotee of the Lord and completely dependent on the Lord. So that is spiritual intelligence, where you understand that actually nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Krishna. So, and if Krishna wants, he will protect me. If Krishna wants, he will kill me. So, so currently our intelligence is contaminated, thinking that I am the Lord of what I survey, or everything, whatever comes in contact with me, it is mine. So, the living entity, just like if a small child is given some toy to play, so he starts playing and he becomes attached to it. He thinks, I am the controller, I am the enjoyer of this. So, same way, the living entity is, according to his karma, desires, he is given different toys, this body and things in relation with the body. So, he starts using them and he starts becoming attached to them. So, that is a problem. So, uh, so we should understand that actually nothing belongs to me. So, like one devotee came to Prabhupada and he was little proud and he was telling that, Prabhupada, I want to renounce everything. So, Prabhupada said, what do you have to renounce? Because he said, renounce the mentality that you have something to renounce. Because actually, what belongs to us? Because nothing belongs to us. This body, this mind, intelligence, this senses, even the soul belongs to Krishna. So nothing belongs to us. So only thing that belongs to us is the free will, right? So, but as devotees, we should not become proud that okay, I am using free will properly. Actually, we use our free will also properly because of association of devotees. Otherwise, that free will also we many times use wrongly, right? Uh, so Prabhupada, we see that he's very heavy sometimes with the material scientists. Hmm. He says that they are just taking away all the credit which belongs to Krishna. Hmm. Now, for example, like Newton, he discovered law of gravitation. Hmm. So Prabhupada says, uh, actually, this what we call that awards, Nobel Prize, Nobel Prize. Yeah, he says actually the Nobel Prize should go to God. So now somebody discovered some laws, like if you say law of gravitation, who is more intelligent, the one who made it or the one who discovered it, right? The one who made it. Because after you make, to make it is not easy, right? To make the law of gravitation first of all exist in nature, is it easy? We cannot make it, right? So Krishna made that law exist in nature, right? Because he only is the creator, right? So some people they're discovering that okay, this law is existing. So after somebody makes, if you are just discovering it is existing, okay, that also can be appreciated, but more appreciation should be given to the one who made it, because it's not easy. You and me cannot make it, right? So that's why Prabhupada said that the real Nobel Prize should be given to God, because He is the one who is making all these laws exist in nature. Only people are taking credit that okay, we discovered this, we discovered that. Hmm? But actually, Lord has made it. So that's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, it is mentioned that those who are not grateful, they are thieves and rogues. That verse mentions very strongly. Why it is mentioned as thieves and rogues? Because you are stealing the property of God, and you are enjoying it. Because everything is Krishna's property, nothing is your property. But you are trying to steal and enjoy for your own selfish purposes. So that's why very strongly that verse is mentioning those who are not grateful, they are thieves and rogues. So that mentality is very strong. Hmm. We want to steal the credit which belongs to God. So same mentality can come in devotees also. Uh, the mentality of controllership, enjoyership, and mentality of uh, taking credit. Like uh, once one devotee was complaining to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj that uh, he was taking some program, and he was uh, bringing lot of people also, but there was some problem, and the managers told him that you stop going to that program. So then that devotee preacher was saying that, see, these managers are telling that we have to stop going to, I only started it, I only developed it, I worked so hard. So then Maharaj heard, and then he said that actually, he said that that is not your program, that is Krishna's program. You are just the servant of that program. You are not the enjoyer of that program. So when I heard, I was like, Om Ajnanatimirandasya, enlightened. Because generally, we become attached to whatever programs or people who are connected to us. And we start thinking that actually all this belong to me. Actually, nothing belongs to us, everything belongs to Krishna. We are just servants trying to facilitate the program or the people in Krishna consciousness. So that should be the ideal consciousness. And actually, whenever we get some success, also, we generally, externally, we may say that, oh, I didn't do and all. But when praise comes, we may accept, actually, certainly. And also, later, our mind also keeps telling, See how great you are. Huh? Na bhuto na bhavishyati. Something like that. So, the mind also starts taking credit for whatever success we may do. But a devotee should really very seriously think that how he is the not the doer, how Krishna and devotees are involved. Like suppose you do book distribution, you distribute 10,000 books. Yeah, obviously devotees will appreciate, but then personally we should never take credit. We should remember actually why these books are going, because these are Bhagavad Gitas. This is not my Gita, right? My Gita people throw on my face. It is Bhagavad Gita, right? It is spoken by Lord. That's why people are purchasing, right? If it is my Gita, they will not take it seriously, right? So it is spoken by Lord. And Prabhupada explained it so nicely, right? Gave so much valuable purports, right? Such nice explanation. And then also we see that generally, yeah, also we see so many devotees are involved, like BBT, so many devotees have, like here we have is Grace Anand Maipru. For Telugu, we see that Prabhuji has worked so hard to get it translated, edited, printing, right? So many devotees like him are involved, right? So all credit should go to them also. And then even after books are available, we see that so many books are available in the shop, but they are lying there only. So generally devotees have to inspire us, right? Some sessions on book distribution, and then we think okay, some prizes also are there. So generally we get little motivated. So after all that we generally start going. In that also devotees have to arrange some places where nicely books go. Right? And then prasadam and so many things like that. So if you start actually thinking in that way, we see that so many devotees and Lord is involved at every step, right? So all credit should be given to them. So we may think that okay, if I give all credit to them, then what about me? What about credit for me, right? Not, that is not required. यथा तरोर्मूलनिषेचनेन तृप्यन्ति तत्स्कन्दभुजोपशाखा प्राणोपहाराजचेन्द्रियाणां तथैव सर्वार्हणमच्युतेजा. So Lord, in a devotee's pleasure is Krishna's pleasure, because he knows that if I give pleasure to Krishna, automatically I will be satisfied, because that is the natural constitutional position of the soul. Huh? So in giving Krishna happiness is my happiness. Okay. So the more we are conditioned, generally the more we are worried about our own happiness. Uh, so then when we are worried about our own happiness, then we may keep committing mistakes. But we are concerned about Lord's happiness, then we'll be happy. Huh? So as Prabhupada is mentioning here, what is Krishna consciousness or spiritual consciousness and what is material consciousness? Not only this is about materialistic people outside, but we also may have this mentality either grossly or subtly uh, through our words, actions, and behavior. We may be exhibiting this. So we have to keep reading, remembering, and applying this instructions in our own life so that we develop that real intelligence. And Krishna is always there to guide us. As Prabhupada is mentioning, one who sincerely tries to serve, Krishna guides. So Prahlad Maharaj, we are seeing that how he very sincerely tried to serve Lord. So Lord gave him the intelligence to deal with all. Physically he was not present until he appeared as Narsimhadev to kill, but he was constantly there to guide, and that's what Prahlad had faith in, that my Lord is always there to guide and protect me. So with that faith he dealt with all that situations. So this is the right consciousness in which we also can deal with all the problems which may come in our life. sincerely trying to serve the Lord and depending on Guru and Krishna. So in this way we can remain Krishna conscious. So we'll end here. Any comments, questions, corrections? Proji. Proji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guruji. Just a few comments I was thinking, Guruji. Actually, when we say that we are not the controller, proprietor, controller, enjoyer, then we also have to understand that how in Krishna consciousness we actually can become proprietor, controller, enjoyer. Because if we only say that we are not proprietor, controller, enjoyer, then that becomes Mayavadi side. For example, in the family also, a wife can control the husband by her service. A child can control the father by love. Father becomes Ghoda for the child. So where there's love, actually there's a positive controllership, positive proprietorship, and there's a positive form of enjoyment. Similarly, in the pastimes of Krishna or in any incarnation of the Lord, we see that how, like Mother Yashoda is controlling Krishna by love, then the Gopas and Gopis are controlling Krishna by love. So actually, our Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta is very much focused on controlling, proprietary, controlling, and enjoying, but based on pure love, like that. So, on one side, first we have to understand that we are actually not proprietor, controller, enjoyer in the material world. Lord is that, and then by cultivating Krishna consciousness purely, with that pure love, we can actually control the Lord also. And Prabhupada also says, Krishna wants to become the servant of his devotees. So that actually gives the people the impetus to take to devotion very seriously. Otherwise, it becomes very dry because living entity needs some position where he has to be. Otherwise, all appears like merging Brahman. That's one thing. Second thing I'd like to say is that actually Prahlad Maharaj was fearless, because he was so intense in his Krishna consciousness. He was seeing the Lord everywhere. He was not just intense based on his, obviously he has a lot of faith. For example, when the poison pot was given to Prahlad, when he took the poison pot, he sees the face of the Lord there in the poison. And seeing the Lord, he actually drank that. Similarly, when he was thrown from the height, he was seeing the Lord below. So the fearlessness actually comes when one is able to perceive the Lord very powerfully, like that. Uh, and the third point, which I wanted to say, just keep me from my mind. Lastly, okay, I forgot that. Maybe 2 points.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So regarding, what he said is that when a living entity has this pure love, then actually he starts controlling the Lord, like Mother Yashoda is controlling. Yeah, definitely that is there. That in the pure consciousness, the Lord actually gets controlled by his devotees. So, yeah, that we can say that spiritual controllership. So that aspect is correct only. And the second one, what you said was about how the Lord, how Prahlad is able to see the Lord everywhere. So that's why he is completely fearless. He has that faith that Lord is always present with me, and whatever does he does is best for me. So fine, thank you. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for wonderful class. Uh, Prabhupada writes at one place, we are not enjoyer, not proprietor, we are not controller, but we are cooperator. By cooperating with the plans of Lord, we can increase His happiness. By giving Him happiness, we can be also happy. So this cooperator word is something people who, otherwise some devotees will not be able to even digest this fact. So fortunately Prabhupada gave some position. You are the cooperator in the plans of Lord. You have some position, don't worry. So that way you can even increase happiness of the Lord like that. That is one comment, Roger. Second thing, one question. when we say left and right that you don't have any position, all glories to all devotees and the Lord.
Actually, we have position.
Yes,
Divera
yes.
Swarupai,
Yes, yes,
Krishna
yes. That is the
Nityadas.
only position. Yeah. And then when we arrange some glorification sessions for devotees, there we speak as if they are doing everything on their own. And that, and when we speak this kind of means perfect understanding and perfect presentation, but when we go very deeply, then as such, then there is no meaning to that glorification only sometimes. Then someone may feel that, all right, just now you speak, everything is Lord and devotee, you didn't do anything. And now artificially you are trying to glorify. Maybe this glorification is not genuine. So that kind of understanding also will come. So how to? Can you please balance and
Yeah.
thank you,
So
Hare Krishna.
even when we glorify devotees, actually the real glorification is that seeing that in relation with Lord. Edad vibhuti matsatvam Srimad Urjitameva Taddadeva Vigachatvam Mama Tejo Amsa Sambham. So independently we cannot have empowerment or those opulences. So we are empowered by the Lord. So actually we should glorify that Krishna has empowered you to do like this, like this. So that is actual real fact. Independently, nobody can be empowered. Just like if you want to charge mobile, you have to connect to the power hose. So then the mobile is getting charged. So same way when we connect to the Supreme Lord, then we are actually getting empowered. So yeah, even when we actually glorify devotees, it is good to both for the speaker and the hearer to actually see that glorification in relation with the Lord. That Lord has empowered you so nicely that you could do such nice book distribution. Uh, so, like that, in that way, uh, actually, it reminds. Uh, Obviously, the devotee is also sincere because he has endeavored from his side. Hmm. Lord is ready to empower, but from the devotee side, as here it is mentioned, Tesham Satatayuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. So from his side, he has used his free will also to take shelter of Lord. So that also has to be glorified. Because Lord is ready to empower everyone, but not everyone is ready to take that empowerment. So, but the living entity has shown his desire to take that empowerment. So that aspect has to be glorified because yeah, everybody in the sense uh, here like Prahlad also, many people may be kept in difficulties, but everyone is not taking shelter of Lord. But why Prahlad is glorified? Because Prahlad is taking shelter of Lord. Uh, so that way, if we see uh, in relation with the Lord, then everything will be proper. Hare Krishna. So we'll end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Shri Prabhupada.